Welcome to week 7 of Emotional Regulation Insights. Jolene Watson here, Dignity Incorporated practitioner. Today, I have the honor of interviewing my best friend, Laurie-ann Sheldrick, and she has a vast experience in the leadership sector of the construction industry, but also there was a portion of her career where she was also a coach and a speaker, and emotions were the main key area of her focus. And today, I just wanted to ask you, Laurie-ann, as a leader, we're going to talk about empathy, and I've done your Myers-Briggs profile. I know that you're very empathetic by nature. How do you occasionally perhaps temper that to be more beneficial in leadership?
Yeah. Well, in my role, hi, first of all, hi. In the role that I am in now, especially being in a male-dominated industry, my empathy definitely, it never goes away. But what I always have to ask myself when I'm at work is, even though I have this very strong empathy within me to want to just give the employees whatever they want, I always have to question what's best for the company. So it's really just a balance between the two. I can still have empathy and give the employees what they need while also making sure that it benefits the company as well. So it's just trying to balance that out for the most part. And then my own emotions, I've just learned to temper that. So when everyone else is freaking out around me, I'm able to just like put that aside and say, I don't have to meet their reaction, right? I don't have to meet them where they're at. I always have to stay at a little bit of a higher level. I can freak out later. I can do that later on my own in the safe zones that I have chosen to do it. But when I'm with them, I'm always keeping my emotions very calm, like even just the way that I am right now. Because if I meet them where they're at, they're never going to come back down to a nice, calmer, attitude or being able to respond or problem solve in the way that I need them to because they're flying high and so am I, right? Nothing gets solved when we match those two. So, yeah, so on one side, it's balancing both, right? What's best for them, plus what's also beneficial for the company. And then when everyone else is freaking out around me, and I want to meet them because I feel their pain, I just keep myself really calm so that they can calm down. Because if they think that I'm calm, they're going to be like, okay, if she's not freaking out, that means we can solve this problem. Yeah.
Well, and emotions are contagious. Just because you experience an emotion does not mean you need to act on it. So that is a
No.
beautiful example of how you can still experience it, but you don't
Hmm.
necessarily have to act. And to create that contagion of calmness, I think that's really important in
Yeah.
leadership.
And I do always ask myself, is this the way I want to react? So, and usually, if inside I'm starting to really freak out because that's how they're reacting, I know the answer is going to be no, right? So that keeps me calm as well. It's like, no, this is not the reaction I want to have. And as a leader, you really have no choice but to be at that higher level. You can't meet your employees where they're at all the time because then they never feel like they're in a safe zone either. Like someone else has their back, right? Because you're just meeting them where they're at. They need to know when I come to Laurie-ann, there's going to be a solution to this and they feel safer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
so
You're
appreciate your
welcome.
insight, and I'll definitely
Well,
bring you
thank
back in
you.
the future with your vast, expansive knowledge of emotions. We'll bring you in on a different topic. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to talk about my favorite emotion when it comes to networking. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but feel free to guess in the comments. And we'll see you next week. Have a great day ahead.